Welcome to the amazing world of deserted Venice. In this film, we will show you the city without the usual hustle and bustle of tourist crowds. Our journey begins at the very modern edge of the historic center, at the Constitution Bridge. This futuristic glass bridge, designed by Santiago Calatrava, connects the automotive zone with the railway station, creating a stunning contrast with the ancient architecture. Until 2008, when it was opened, the main gateway for everyone arriving not by train was the Ponte della Piavola. Built in 1934, for decades it served as the main pedestrian artery, connecting the transport hub with the historic heart of the city. Today, as the main flow of tourists rushes to Calatrava's glass spans, centuries-old silence has reigned on the old bridge. This silence is a rare moment in the history of Venice, a city accustomed to a constant, unceasing rhythm. Early in the morning, the rays of the sun illuminate the sleeping city, and the Grand Canal, usually teeming with life, has frozen in absolute stillness. Calm has descended not only on the city's main artery, but also in every one of its hidden corners. Narrow canals with arched bridges and blooming plants gently contrast with the noble age of the ancient walls. If you arrive in Venice by train or leave your car at the parking lot on the edge of the city, your acquaintance with the main waterway begins here. The Scalzi Bridge, also known as the Bridge of the Barefoot Monks, immediately catches the eye with its incredibly graceful stone arch, which proudly and smoothly rises above the calm surface of the water. This is one of only 4 bridges spanning the majestic Grand Canal, and it is this bridge that flings open the doors for you into the labyrinth of canals and palaces. In this urban labyrinth, there are about 3,000 streets. Their width typically ranges from 2 to 4 meters. But sometimes the building facades get so close together that such tight passages are simply called cala. These steps are not just a decorative architectural element, but silent witnesses to the centuries. Venice arose where land meets the open sea, defying all logic and the elements. In the 5th century, fleeing the turmoil on the mainland, people found refuge here in the lagoons. And what initially seemed like just a temporary shelter eventually grew and transformed into a truly great city. Builders drove the city into the silt. Millions of piles turned into a foundation that has stood for 1,500 years. Without the hustle and bustle, Venice reveals its true essence. This is not a mere stage set, but an engineering marvel, majestic and eternal. When the noise of the crowd fades away, you begin to notice the details. Every relief, every stone, every bend of the canal takes on a special meaning. And if the Venetian canals are the veins of the city, then the Grand Canal is its main artery, where the most important trade routes converged, connecting Europe with the East. Empty squares, streets, and embankments reveal the true scale of the architecture. Now they belong only to their history, and all of us. We are standing in Campo Santa Margherita, one of the most spacious and welcoming corners of Venice, where ancient history seamlessly blends with the vibrant daily life of the city. But for truly grandiose and breathtaking scales, let us head to Campo San Polo. After San Marco, it is the 2nd largest open space in this realm of islands. San Polo strikes with the grandeur of its red brick palazzos. A special, solemn atmosphere of old Venice reigns here. The square is crowned by the Church of San Polo, whose history dates back to the 9th century, and its graceful campanile rises above the tiled roofs. Venice consists of 118 islands and more than 170 canals, so as we wander through it, we inevitably cross bridges all the time. There are about 400 of them in the city. Before us lies Campo Stefano. Its austere campanile stands as a striking landmark for anyone trying to unravel the secrets of this labyrinth. Once there were about 200 churches across the lagoon. Only a few have survived to this day. Some churches were demolished, while others were repurposed into residential spaces or palaces. And many were looted during the Napoleonic era, which ruthlessly exported art treasures to France at the turn of the 19th century. We are at Campo San Bartolomeo. There are more than 130 such squares across these islands. Given the dense urban fabric and the unstable ground, beneath every square meter of this campo lie 9 massive wooden piles. When designing the urban space, architects deliberately set aside areas for trade and celebrations, as well as rare green oases, creating a perfect balance amidst the stone monolith that has filled every inch of this environment. Stepping away from the squares, the city unfolds into wide embankments and canals, setting a completely different scale for tight-knit Venice. In the rays of the midday sun, cozy moorings and elegant bridges stand frozen, where the serenity of the old town is felt in every quiet splash of water. The weathered plaster of the houses holds the memory of floods. In November 1966, the water rose by nearly 2 meters, flooding the ground floors. But these alleys are merely the flip side of the city. The true Venice revealed itself to merchants from the water. That is why the grand facades of their palazzos face the Grand Canal, where the Rialto Bridge is already waiting for us. Built at the end of the 16th century by the architect Antonio da Ponte, it is the true heart of the city and the oldest crossing over the Grand Canal. The bridge consists of 6 flights of stairs. The number of steps varies, up to 43 on the central flights, and up to 59 on the side ones. From the bridge, a view unfolds over the main waterway and the stately palazzos of the Venetian Republic's most influential families, who held the reins of its power. Da Ponte's engineering genius is astonishing. Despite its massive weight, the bridge span crosses the canal without a single pier in the water, measuring 28 meters in length and 7.5 meters in height. Beneath this stone arch, commercial life has boiled for centuries, and the bridge received its name thanks to the famous Rialto market that spread out at its foot. Imagine the dawn of financial Europe. It was in these very quarters that the first banking innovations took root, shaping the future rules of Mediterranean and global trade. Before this stone giant, the canal was crossed by an unreliable 12th century pontoon bridge. It was called Ponte della Moneta, named after the nearby mint or because of the toll charged for crossing. This fragile structure was replaced by a wooden bridge with drawspans that let trading vessels pass. But the growing city needed a reliable and more stable crossing. Antonio da Ponte's project triumphantly outperformed such legendary master builders as Palladio, Sansovino, and Michelangelo himself in the architectural competition. And the bridge was erected in just 3 years. 12,000 wooden piles and white marble cladding allowed the structure to blend harmoniously into the city's skyline, remaining the only bridge across the Grand Canal until the late 19th century. Along the water stretches the main Rialto restaurant line. The spaces are arranged so that everyone can share a meal with a view of this symbol of Venice, from where major water routes start. We paid so much attention to this place because it was right here, at the crossroads of trade routes, that the capital was born, allowing the islands to transform into an architectural pearl. Leaving the heart of Venice, we set off to meet new discoveries. For the spirit of daring travelers has lived here at all times. Venetian daredevils set off on journeys that opened new horizons to the world. A striking example was the legendary navigator Marco Polo. This spirit of explorers has inspired for centuries. Upon seeing the native pile dwellings in the New World, Amerigo Vespucci named those distant lands Venezuela, meaning Little Venice. Looking at these quiet water arteries, it is hard to imagine what severe trials the city went through during the era of epidemics and historic floods. Hidden from prying eyes, the narrow canals became the primary chroniclers of those consequences, with their weathered walls salted by the centuries. Most travelers never see this underside of the city, except for those who dare to take a boat ride through these water labyrinths. The main hallmark of these elegant gondolas today, those very soft velvet seats and carved decor, creating a cozy atmosphere of absolute romance for tourists. Graceful arches of small bridges repeatedly cross the water surface, some of them seeming to hang right against building facades. Yet around every turn of the labyrinth, a different facet of this unique life unfolds, whose usual rhythm temporarily came to a halt. The space around us froze, tourists disappeared, and the streets seemed to stand still in anticipation, and the city was left all alone with itself. The water channels fell empty, stripped of their familiar gondoliers. Boats sit moored alone, and the hum of Venetian water taxis rushing through the canals has faded away. The water lay still, reflecting the empty palazzos like a mirror, as if nature itself had decided to take a pause. It was not just Venice itself that slumbered, but also its secluded enclaves where every bridge and alleyway keeps an absolute silence. And behind ancient shutters and weathered facades lies the hidden life of native Venetians. And even when street commerce fades beneath the vaulted galleries of ancient markets, the city bravely bears this pause, not for the first time in its long history. Much of the footage for this film was captured not only during the early morning hours, but also back in the recent days of the pandemic, leaving a unique mark in the city's chronicles, proudly preserving its history, before Venice once again threw open its grand public spaces. If the Rialto Bridge is the heart of Venice, then Piazza San Marco has long been called its soul and primary magnet, crowned by the majestic basilica and the iconic clock tower. Distinguished by its complex astronomical mechanism, which tracks not just the time but the moon phases and zodiac signs, alongside its exquisite architecture. Officially named the Torre dell'Orologio, it was erected at the turn of the 15th and 16th centuries. As for the square itself, its story began back in the 9th century as an open gathering space situated right before the original structures of the basilica and the Doge's palace, forever sealing the destiny of this location as the true spiritual and political heart of Venice. Beneath the cool vaults of the gallery, a graceful vista of the square unfolds, seeming truly awe-inspiring in the complete absence of people. Yet despite everything, the space remains in flawless condition, meticulously cared for day after day. Venetians call San Marco the city's only true piazza, emphasizing its exceptional status and that special, incomparable role it has played through the centuries. While every other public space and square in the city is modestly named Campo, this iconic location has always stood apart, rising high above any conventional rules. For every traveler arriving in Venice, even for just a single day, this remains the ultimate and absolute point of attraction. From every side, the square is embraced by the strict, elegant lines of the Procurati buildings. It was here that the highest dignitaries of the Republic convened, governing both its treasury and its destiny. Whenever floods threaten, these wooden barriers and boards are deployed across the square, forming elevated pathways to keep pedestrians safe from the rising tide. For centuries, San Marco has been the primary stage for public assemblies. magnificent celebrations, and cultural events. These traditions remain unchanged to this day. The heart of the famous Venetian carnival, which dates back to the late 13th century, still beats right here. To the right of the basilica rises the Doge's palace, the residence of the Republic's rulers, where the most crucial state decisions were made. Its famous open-work facade, featuring a striking geometric pattern, almost defies the laws of architecture itself. Walking through the spacious arcade of the lower tier, where the city's pulse beat for centuries and where deals were struck and vital affairs were decided, we slowly make our way toward the lagoon. Venice's main promenade, Riva degli Schiavoni, or the Slavonian waterfront, stretches for 1.5 miles from the Doge's palace to the arsenal. Named after the Slavic merchants who once traded along these shores, the promenade today opens up to breathtaking views of the lagoon and the island of San Giorgio Maggiore. Right here stands the famous Bridge of Sighs, connecting the solemn courtrooms of the palace to the dark, grim prison cells. It earned its poignant name from the deep, heavy sighs of convicts as they took their very last glimpse of freedom. In their time, both Giacomo Casanova and Giordano Bruno walked this exact path. In this frozen silence, standing as a true portal to another era, our journey draws to a close. But we will soon return to explore more secret canals and gondolas once again. Thank you for sharing this walk through deserted Venice with us, and see you soon.